All right now, you see it right here. The Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, holding a press conference. Let's listen in here.
We're conducting a statewide signature match study with a research team from the University of Georgia. This team will work to restore faith in the process and put these rumors to bed once and for all. All Americans, all Georgians, all voters, all deserve respect. Those that voted for the president and those that voted for the president-elect and those that cast their ballot for anyone else are all created equal and should be treated equally. 1 in 5 Republicans in this state split their ticket. That means that they voted for a different party at the top, but voted Republican for other races. In this context, those that believe the claims of widespread voter fraud, election theft, and all those other allegations deserve the truth. They are proud Americans. They are teachers, small business owners, farmers, truck drivers, nurses and doctors, mothers and fathers, and all are every part of American life. In my office, we will continue to present the facts in a respectful manner. We will continue to try and answer each and every question. The facts are on our side. There are those that are exploiting the strong feelings so many of President Trump's supporters have for him. Unfortunately, through this election process, as we have seen through elections through the years, truth has become a casualty of the campaigns. The first big disinformation campaign was that the voting machines were flipping or deleting votes here. We executed a hand tally audit. It was live streamed in many counties. People in all 159 counties hand counted and tallied over 5 million cast ballots. That tally proved that the machines counted the ballots properly and accurately, and that is their job. Let me be clear. Before an absentee ballot is ever cast, a signature match is confirmed twice, not once, twice. As in, the signature is matched twice. I don't know how much clearer I can make that for everyone to understand. Another charge is that signature match wasn't conducted at all. First, let's remember that in Georgia, unlike in California, voters must request a ballot. That is step 1 in the process, and it must be verified. Then when the ballot is returned, it must have the signature verified again as part of the process. In this state, signature match is conducted twice before a ballot is ever cast. We have had a specific allegation that this process wasn't followed in one county, Cobb. As part of an investigation into that, we are doing a signature audit in Cobb of their November ballots first. My office, working along with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, will begin that audit next week. It will require hundreds of man-hours to complete. Something that was missed by the media in my announcement on Monday was that we'll be doing an additional audit statewide. That audit will be conducted and coordinated by the University of Georgia and their School of Public and International Affairs research team. My office will be bringing on board a University of Georgia research team to conduct a random statewide signature audit study. Because there has been so much different information spread about this issue, I am ordering this extraordinary step. Our goal is to do our best to answer every and all questions. At this point, we understand it will be difficult to change some minds. I get that. We understand that. But as I said earlier, all voters need to be respected equally. All voters deserve to have faith in this election system. As for January 5th, we continue to encourage only Georgians to cast legal votes here. This is a Georgia election run by Georgia election officials for Georgia voters to elect your Georgia senators. We're already at the nearly 800,000 votes cast. We continue to investigate potential out-of-state voters and are taking steps to assure non-residents that their votes are not cast. That said, I encourage all legal Georgia voters to cast their votes in the January 5th election. Make a plan. Find the early voting locations in your county. With the holidays, there will be fewer days than normal to take advantage of early voting. My wife and I voted early yesterday. I encourage you to get out and vote. Vote early, vote on election day. You can vote absentee. We have all three options, but please take advantage of the opportunity to vote on January 5th. Your vote matters. Don't let anyone tell you differently. And integrity matters. Thank you.
You've just been watching a press conference by Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. If you're just joining us, a few highlights here. He's updating us on Cobb County's signature match audit and just announcing that it will begin next week. It will take a lot of man hours. Also, this is new here, an additional audit statewide will be happening, and that will be coordinated with UGA. Random signature audit here, study, unprecedented, and they'll be checking whether the signatures on the absentee ballot envelopes match the signature records among registered voters. This decision following weeks of pressure from President Trump and his supporters. If you want to find out more about this, want to rewatch the Secretary of State's press conference, be sure to head on over to our website, 11alive.com.